I have in Catalan, if anyone needs in Catalan, I have some copies, okay? So thank you very much, Isabel, for your kind introduction. And well, I'm glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about Sanskrit language, Vedic culture, and the tradition of ancient India. Well, as all of you know, my name is María Elena Sierra. I'm Sanskrit teacher here at the University of Barcelona, and I have a PhD degree in classical philology with the first doctoral thesis on Sanskrit phonetics presented here at this university. And well, by the present, right now I give 3-level courses of Sanskrit. These courses are university extension courses. That means that anyone can do it, whether he is a university student or not, okay? And in addition of all of these activities, all of these courses, we also organize different activities related to Sanskrit, such as theater performances like Ramayana, and Mahabharata. You can search on the web UBTV, the TV of the University of Barcelona. If you search in UBTV Ramayana or Mahabharata, you will find the theater performance, both, that we have organized here at the main garden and in the Paraninf of the university, so you can watch at home, okay, if you're interested. So we also organize lectures, free and open to everyone. So all of you are invited to come to attend our next lecture, which will take place in June, the 13th of June. Thank you. Brochure. Okay. And it will take place here in the same place, in the capilla, at 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, okay? So if you want to know more about Sanskrit, all of you are invited to come. It's free, open to everyone. And if you want to have a good time, listen to music, traditional Indian music, and know a little more about Sanskrit, all of you are invited to attend this Sanskrit lecture, okay? Well, if you want to get more information about all of these activities or Sanskrit courses or anything related to Sanskrit language or Vedic culture, you can send me an email. You have, in this copy, you have my email. Anyone? Does anyone? Okay, Spanish? Oh, Catalan I have also. I have in Catalan, Spanish, English, as you want. So you have my email here, in the copy. Okay, and you can send me an email and ask me whatever you want related to Sanskrit, Vedic culture, this lecture, or the theater performance, Ramayana or Mahabharata, as you want, okay? So let's start with the lecture. Well, today I will make an introduction to some important subjects related to Sanskrit and Vedic culture, the tradition of ancient India, okay? So first of all, I will try to answer 3 important questions. So first point, introduction, okay? First point, introduction. 3 questions, 3 important questions. First question. What is Sanskrit? What is Sanskrit language? The first question. We will try to answer. What is Sanskrit language? Second question. Which languages derive from it? Which languages spoken nowadays in India and over the world derive from Sanskrit? Okay, this is the second question. And, thank you, third question. Thank you. Which are the most ancient texts preserved in that language, in Sanskrit. And how old are they? How old are they, these texts? Okay? First question, what is Sanskrit? What is Sanskrit language? Second question, which are the languages derived from Sanskrit? Okay? Which are the languages spoken nowadays in India and over the world, derived from Sanskrit? And third, which are the most ancient, the eldest texts preserved in Sanskrit? And important also, how old are they? Okay? 3 questions, introduction. Secondly, I will mention some terms, some words, important words are related to this culture and Sanskrit literature. And I will try to define them and explain their relevance, why these terms are so relevant in this culture or this tradition. Okay, so point 2, Sanskrit terminology, we can say, okay? Sanskrit terminology. I don't know if you can see. Okay, and finally, I will mention some of the main deities of this tradition. I will explain something about them, and I will show you how to distinguish between them, okay? Third point, Sanskrit deities, okay? Okay, Sanskrit deities. And the most important point here in this third subject, the most important point, I think, is to remember that Vedic culture, the tradition of ancient India, is monotheistic. It's monotheistic. Because people see so many gods and goddesses, and they think that Sanskrit culture or Indian culture is polytheistic, but that's not true. Okay? All of these gods and goddesses are different manifestations of the same unique God. That's the idea. Okay? So, well, the idea, we could say also, there is only one God, but he can manifest in innumerable, countless forms. That's the idea. Okay? So, we can speak or talk about monotheistic tradition or Vedic Sanskrit monotheism. Okay? We will try to explain this also. And, well, that's all. This is a quick overview, a brief summary of the main subjects of this lecture. So let's start with the first point. First question, what is Sanskrit? What is Sanskrit? Sanskrit is we can say is the language of Vedic hymns. Vedic hymns. Here. Sanskrit is the language of Vedic hymns. Clar, perquè aquest és inalàmbric. No em senten bé. No sé si he de fer servir també...
Potser sí, és que no et senten.
O cridar més.
És molt difícil, com tu vegis.
No sé. Can you hear me or not? If I... No? May I use... What do you think? I can try to do... If you don't hear it, please tell your teacher and I try with... Okay? No? Okay. Let's try. How it works? Do you know how it works?
Sorry about it, but they are not...
Okay, better? Oh my God. You prefer that? Really? Okay. Okay. First question. What is Sanskrit language? It's the language of Vedic hymns. Okay? What is Sanskrit? It's the language of Vedic hymns. Hymns. And Vedic hymns from the works called Veda. Okay? These hymns were chanted by the priests in their ceremonies. These ceremonies, which were chanted or performed thousands of years ago. And these priests chant these same hymns nowadays in India, all over India, in the same way that they were chanted thousands of years ago. So this oral tradition is preserved and is amazing tradition. Okay, it's unique in the world, this oral tradition preserved. So the word to call the priest in Sanskrit is Brahmana. Brahmana means priest. Okay? Brahmana. Okay, I put Brahmana is the word to call the priest. The term to say priest. Okay, so the Brahmana, the priest, chanted in the ceremonies, in the sacred ceremonies, fire sacrifice and ceremonies, they chanted the mantras, the hymns, and all of these hymns were in Sanskrit. So we can say that Sanskrit language is the language of Vedic hymns. Better like this, better. Okay. We can say that Sanskrit is also the language of yoga and Ayurveda. It's the language of yoga and Ayurveda. All of these, all of the theatrices, all of the works about yoga and about Ayurveda were composed originally in Sanskrit. Okay? Ayurveda. Do you know what does it mean, Ayurveda? Ayur, the word Ayur means life. In fact, the word is Ayus, but it's not important now. The word is Ayus, but for phonetic reasons, turns to Ayur. Doesn't matter. Ayur or Ayus means life. And Veda means knowledge. Knowledge, or even we can say wisdom, because Veda is not the word to say, doesn't refer to the idea of erudition or gather some knowledge, but real knowledge, so which we could call wisdom, okay, Veda. So the works about yoga and the works about Ayurveda were composed in Sanskrit. Ayurveda is the traditional Indian medical system, okay, the science of life. It's the traditional medical system from India. Used nowadays also, but it's very ancient. So all of these works were composed in Sanskrit, okay? And the word to call this language, the specific term to call this language, Samskritam, Sanskritam is the specific word to call this language. It's formed with the preposition or prefix sam. The prepositions in Sanskrit are called upasarga. So sam is a preposition and kritam is a participle. Okay? So sam means together, with, also completely. Sam is together with, completely, sam. And kritam is the word, the participle from the root kri. The root kri means to do. So kritam means done. Okay? The root is kri. Kri. This symbol indicates that we are talking about a verbal root. So kritam means done, kri means to do. In Sanskritam, this S appears for phonetic reasons. Sanskritam means well done or completely done, and we can also translate as the well-formed language, the perfect language, the language par excellence. Okay, like this? No, like this? Like this? Like this? Yes? Okay, Sanskritam. It's the language, the specific name to call this language, Sanskritam, the perfect language, a well-formed language. And we can define Sanskrit language as an Indo-European language. Indo-European language. Indo-European language from the subgroup Indo-Iranian. Indo-Iranian subfamily or group, okay? You see? I can... Is an Indo-European language from the subgroup Indo-Iranian, from the Indo-Iranian subfamily. As all of you know, English is also an Indo-European language. From which family? Which family? English. Which family?
Germanic.
Yes. Uttamam, as we say in Sanskrit. Very well. Germanic family. So Sanskrit and English, two languages that we could consider so different, so distant, space and culture, etc., are two languages which have more similarities than we could expect, okay? Because both are Indo-European. They belong to the same family, okay? Some examples will illustrate this point. How do you say mother in Sanskrit? Do you know? How do you say mother in Sanskrit? Matri. Matri. Mother is matri. Very similar. You think? Matri. Mother. Mater in Latin. Madre in Spanish. Mare in Catalan. All Indo-European languages are the same. How do you say brother in Sanskrit? Bharatri. Bharatri. Very similar. Amazing. You think? Matri, Bharatri, sorry. How do you say three in Sanskrit? Trayas, or three. Trayas or three. Okay, Trayas is three. You can also find three, word three. And also, you can find also three. Three is also three, okay? Trayas or three means three. And also the word no in Sanskrit is na. No, okay, no. So it's very, very similar. All of these similarities are not by chance, okay? Are the evidence of a common origin. So Sanskrit language and English are Indo-European languages, and Sanskrit is from the Indo-Iranian family, okay? So we have just defined what is Sanskrit. We have many definitions. Sanskrit is the language of Vedic hymns. Sanskrit is the language of yoga and Ayurveda. Is the language, the perfect language, the well-formed language. The specific name to call this language means that. And we can also say that Sanskrit language is an Indo-European language from the Indo-Iranian family. Okay, so let's answer the second question. Which languages derive from it? Which languages are spoken nowadays in India and over the world derive from Sanskrit? Sanskrit is the mother language of all the languages from central and northern India. All of the languages of central and northern India derive from Sanskrit. Which languages? Like, for instance, such as, do you know? For instance, Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Kashmiri, Punjabi, Rajasthani. Okay, and so on. Hindi, the third or fourth language in number of speakers of the world. Third or fourth, depending on the author. So, a lot of people speak Hindi. Okay, and Bengali is the sixth language in number of speakers of the world. Okay, very important languages. Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Kashmiri, Punjabi, Rajasthani, and so on. Okay, and also the language of the gypsies. Do you know Kalo, Romano? Do you know this language? The language of the gypsies, because as all of you know, the gypsies they come from India originally. So the language Kalo, Romano is also derived from Sanskrit language. Okay. Second question answered. Third question, which are the most ancient languages? Oh, sorry, I wanted to put an example here, the second question, to show the similarity between Sanskrit and some languages derived from Sanskrit. For instance, how do you say, what's your name in Sanskrit? You are going to learn Sanskrit today. What's your name? Okay, you can ask, what's your name in Sanskrit now? Tava nama kim, mama nama, mama nama, Elena, okay? Tava nama kim, tava, your. Nama, what does it mean, nama? Name, very well. Sanskrit is very easy, don't you see? Kim, what does it mean? What? What's your name? Tava nama kim. Your name what? Literally, okay? Your name what? Tava nama kim. Mama, my, nama, name. Okay? So repeat with me. Okay. Repeat with me. Tava nama kim. Tava nama kim. Mama nama, whatever. Okay? Tava nama kim. So this is Sanskrit. Okay? This is Sanskrit. Tava nama kim. So I am going to put now the same question in Bengali, one of the daughters, okay, the right one. So in Bengali is Tumar Naam Ki. Do you see the similarity? Tumar Naam Ki. If you want to speak in Bengali, Bangla Bhasha, you have to say Tumar Naam Ki. Okay, Tumar Naam Ki. Tava nama kim, tumar naam ki. Do you see the similarity between the mother language and the derived one? Okay. Now, third question. Which are the most ancient works in Sanskrit language? And how old are they? The most ancient works in Sanskrit language are the Veda. The Veda. Veda means knowledge, but we have said not erudition or gather some information, but real knowledge, revealed knowledge. And the root from Veda is vid, which means to know, and is related, etymologically related, with the Latin videre, which means, what does it mean, videre? To see. Okay, video or veo is the same root than with. With means to know, but it's to know in Veda means to know, but in the idea of revealed knowledge, the knowledge that you see with your inner eye. Okay, so according to tradition, the Veda was originally only one. There was originally only one Veda, but it was divided into three parts, with a fourth part added later, known as Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. Okay, and all of these works consists in chants of admiration or prayers dedicated to different deities, okay? Such as the deity of fire. How do you say fire in Sanskrit? Do you know? Do you know? Does anybody know? Agni. Agni. Agni is the deity of fire. Agni. Similar to what? In Latin, ignis. Ignifugo. Igneo is the same word as Agni. Okay? So Agni is the god of fire, the deity of fire, and is the representative of God in the fire sacrifice. Okay? So for instance, if you have the copy, you have your copy, you will find a mantra, a hymn from the Rig Veda, from the most ancient work preserved in Sanskrit language. Does anybody have? Does anybody have one? Because we have to chant now. You have to follow me. So you have to have copy. Okay? Does anybody have? Yes or no? Please answer. Don't be shy. Yes? There? Do you have? Do you have copy? Yes? Everyone? Okay. So you find here the first mantra of the Rig Veda. It's an invocation to Agni. Okay? It's an invocation to Agni. And I'm going to chant, so listen to carefully, because you are going to listen to the first mantra of the most ancient word preserved in Sanskrit. So this is an historical moment for you. Okay? And before chanting the mantra, we also chant the mantra Om. Do you know? Om. Okay? Om. Before chanting the mantra, we chant Om. Okay? In Devanagari is like this. This is Om. Okay? It's called a bija mantra, a seed mantra. It's an invocation to the Supreme. It's an invocation to the Absolute. So before chanting the invocation to Agni, we chant Om, then we chant the invocation, then we repeat Om again, and finally we repeat 3 times the word Shanti. Do you know what does it mean, Shanti? What does it mean? Peace, very well. Shanti 3 times, okay? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay? So I'm going to chant. So listen to carefully because you will chant with me in a second time. Agnimile purohitam yakyasya devam ritvijam hotaram ratnadhatamam om shanti shanti shanti. Okay, I'm going to chant again, okay? Second time, and third time you will chant with me, okay? Let's see. Like this? Do you listen to me now? Om Agni Mile Purohitam Yakyasya Devam Ritvijam Hotaram Radnadhatamam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, now all together, okay? With me. You have to chant. If you want to pass this course, you have to chant. This conditio sine qua non, okay? Okay, all together. Come on, don't be shy. If you don't chant, we will repeat, okay? So, better to chant right now. Do you have? Come on, it's very easy. Va. Let's go. Agni Mile Purohitam Yatyasya Devam Ritvijam Hotaram Radnadhatamam Om Shanti. No. That's not possible. Again. Again, let's try again. I cannot hear you. I don't know why. Okay? Okay. All together. Do you have? All together. Om Agni Mile Purohitam Yat Yasha Devam Ritvijam Hotaram Radnadhatamam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Very well. Better. Okay, thousands of times better. Okay, so this is the first mantra of the Rig Veda. Okay, you have listened to and but you can find all the Rig Veda on different webs, so you can find if you want to listen to more. But now you have listened to the first mantra, okay, from the Rig Veda. So the most ancient works in Sanskrit language are the Vedas, okay? And how old are they? 5,000 years at least, okay? 5,000 years at least. Okay, so we have answered these three questions. What is Sanskrit language? Which language is derived from it? And which are the most ancient works in Sanskrit language? Okay. Other important works in Sanskrit, in addition to the Vedas, are the Upanishads and the Purana. Maybe you have heard about that. Upanishad and Purana. Upanishad and Purana, which are philosophical works, okay? And also we have to mention the two great works of Sanskrit literature, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay? Upanishad and Purana, philosophical works, and also Ramayana and Mahabharata, the two great works in Sanskrit language. In the Ramayana, we find explained the life of Rama. Who is Rama? Rama is an avatar. An avatar. An avatar means God who descends on earth. He's God on earth. In order to reestablish the justice. So in the Ramayana we will find explain the life of Rama, this avatar, okay, of Vishnu or Krishna, which is the same one, okay. And in the Mahabharata, we can translate Mahabharata as the great history of ancient India, okay. Maha, what does it mean? Maha, what do you think? Maha. What does it mean? The word, literally, Maha. No. Maha. No? Mahatma. What does it mean, Mahatma? Do you know this word, Mahatma? I hope so. Mahatma. What does it mean, Mahatma? Do you know? Does anybody know what does it mean, Mahatma? Great soul. Maha means great and Atma means soul. Mahatma in Latin, do you know this word in Latin? Magnanimous. Magnanimous. Magnus, animus. It's the same. Magnanimous. The word magnanimo in Spanish derived from it. So Mahatma means great soul. Maha is great, is Magnus, and Atma means animus, alma, soul. Easy. So Maha means great. Okay? Maha means great. And Mahabharata literally is the great Bharata. Bharata is the name of ancient India. So Mahabharata is literally the great history of ancient India. Okay? So it's a very important poem and it's a very long poem. It's formed by 100,000 verses. 100,000 verses. According to the Oxford Dictionary of World Religions, its extension is the same as 8 times the Iliad, and 8 times the Odyssey. So if you read 8 times La Ilíada and 8 times La Odisea, it's the same as if you have read once Mahabharata. So it's a very long poem. For this reason, there is a saying in India which goes, wherever is not in the Mahabharata, there isn't anywhere, you know, because it's so long. Okay? And Mahabharata is also very important because in the Mahabharata we find the Bhagavad Gita. Do you know the Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God. It's a sacred text. The Song of God. Oh, sorry? Tell me. The Song of the Lord, the Song of God. Gita. Bhagavad Gita, sorry. I put here. The Bhagavad Gita, we find within the Mahabharata, this long poem, 100,000 verses, within we find the Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God, the Song of Bhagavan. Okay? What is Bhagavad Gita? Why is a sacred text in India? Why? Because in the Bhagavad Gita we find the discussion between Shri Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, we find Shri Krishna and Arjuna. In the Bhagavad Gita we find the discussion between Shri Krishna, who is God himself on earth, Krishna is God, and his dear friend Arjuna. And Krishna here instructs Arjuna in transcendental knowledge, in spiritual knowledge. Okay? And this discussion takes place just before a fratricide war, a war between cousins. So in this work, in the Bhagavad Gita, we find the discussion of subjects such the nature of the soul, the nature of God, karma, and reincarnation. All of these kind of subjects. Okay, you will find in Bhagavad Gita. You can search on the web Bhagavad Gita. You will find so many translations. Okay, in English, in Spanish, and whatever. So Mahabharata is also very important because within the Mahabharata we find Bhagavad Gita, the song of the Lord or the song of God, okay, with all of this transcendental knowledge. So now I'm going to try to define some of these concepts we find in Bhagavad Gita and all of this tradition. So point 2, Sanskrit terminology, okay? Sanskrit terminology. First term, karma. We are going to explain the terms. Karma, yoga, samsara, and avatara. Okay? Karma, yoga, samsara, and avatara. 4 terms, Sanskrit terms. Karma. Maybe you already know these words. Karma, yoga, samsara, I think so. But maybe you don't know that are Sanskrit words, okay, originally. Karma. What does it mean, karma? Karma literally means action, action. From the root kri. As I have already mentioned, this symbol indicates that we are talking about a verbal root. So kri means to do, and karma means action. And why? Because karma is the law of action and reaction. It's the law of cause and consequence. Every action has its consequence. That's the idea. So our present is the result of our previous actions, and we decide our future with our present activities, with our present behavior. That's the idea of karma, okay? Karma. Okay, yoga. What does it mean, yoga? Yoga means connection. From the root, yush. The root yush means to join, to connect. So yoga literally means connection. Why connection? Because yoga is the connection with our spiritual essence, with our inner spiritual essence, and with the Supreme. So the goal of yoga is to control the mind in order to listen to ourselves, okay? Mind, shut up. I want to listen to my inner spiritual essence. That's the idea, okay? The goal of yoga is control the mind in order to listen to ourselves and reestablish our relationship with God. That's the idea in this tradition, okay? So yoga means connection with your spiritual essence, okay? That's yoga. And samsara, do you know what does it mean, samsara? Samsara means to flow together, Literally is to flow together. From the root, sri, and the prefix sam, okay? Sri means to flow. Sam, in Sanskrit also, sam is together, completely. Samsara, to flow together. What does it mean, to flow together? It's the idea, refers to the idea of reincarnation. You know that Indian culture and Vedic culture believes in reincarnation. So, samsara means to flow together, okay? We can say that in some sense, samsara is the wheel of karma, okay? Action and reaction and take birth again and again and again, okay? To learn something. And the main idea is that the soul is eternal, but takes birth, in this material world, in a material body, okay? We are not this body, we are not this mind, we are a spiritual soul, that's the idea. And takes birth in this material world, in a material body, again and again and again. So this is samsara. And one can take birth in an animal body, in a body of a plant, or in a human body. So this is one of the reasons, the main reasons, why Indian traditionally is vegetarian. Because they practice ahimsa. What does it mean, ahimsa? Do you know? Ahimsa, non-violence. So the idea is that they minimize the suffering of all other living entities. So in every animal, they believe that there is a soul. So they don't kill animals. They don't kill animals to eat their flesh, because this is very bad karma, okay? Because it's to cause suffering to other living entities. Did you want to ask something? Yeah?
Nirvana?
Nirvana is more, it's a Sanskrit word, but it's modern. It's used usually after Vedic. But we can say something like, yes, the idea of stop the material activities, or like ara només puc parlar en anglès, no puc parlar en castellà ni en català. Seria com parar aquestes activitats, no? O sigui, aquesta idea. But it's not very used. It's not a word very used in that tradition. Maybe in posterior traditions. Okay. So the last one, avatara. Avatara means descension from ava tree, and means the one who descends. Literally, it's God who descends on earth in order to reestablish the justice, okay? Just like we were talking about Bhagavad Gita and Krishna and Arjuna, so Krishna is God himself who descends in order to reestablish justice, okay? That's the idea of avatara. Avatara is one who descends, but it's God himself on earth, okay? It's not a common human being. Okay, so you have now karma, yoga, samsara, and avatara, a little bit of Sanskrit tradition. Let's talk about third point, Indian deities or Sanskrit deities. Okay, we have said that the main point is that this tradition is monotheistic, so all of its gods and goddesses are different manifestations of the same unique God. And we are going to start with Gopal Krishna or Krishna. You have here Gopal Krishna, okay? Krishna in his youth age. And Krishna, the word Krishna derives from the root krish. Krish means to attract. So Krishna means the most attractive, the all attractive, okay? Because no one is more attractive than God, okay? So it is said that he possesses all opulences to an unlimited degree, okay? He possesses all opulences to an unlimited degree. So he is the most attractive one, okay? That's the idea. And the 6 main opulences we can say, or tradition says, wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because he's the most renunciant one. He possesses everything, he can renounce everything. We don't possess anything, so we cannot renounce, in fact. So, for instance, he's the most beautiful, and he's the origin of all beauty, okay? He has absolute knowledge, and he is the origin of all knowledge. That's the idea, okay? So he's Krishna, and he always, if you want to distinguish Krishna, he always wears his flute, and he wears a peacock feather, okay? Krishna always with his flute and a peacock feather, okay? And it is said that Krishna has 3 cords in his posture, okay? 3 cords with his flute. He has a 3-fold bending figure, which represents the 3 levels of the universe, okay? I don't know if you say the 3-fold bending figure. It's like this, okay? 3-fold bending figure, 3 cords, okay? And the first cord represents the inferior planets. The second, the medium planets. The Earth is a medium planet. And the higher planets, the superior planets, are the third part of his body, because he is the Lord of the universe. So to meditate in Krishna is like to meditate in all the universe, okay? That's the idea. And this name in Sanskrit is Tribhanga Lalita. Tribhanga Lalita is the name of Krishna. Tribhanga Lalita. Tribhanga Lalita. Okay? It is the name of Krishna with this 3-fold bending figure. Lalita means attractive, gracious, attractive. Bhanga means carved, and Tri means tree. The beautiful form with 3 curves, okay, which represents the universe. So the yogis, they meditate in this form of Krishna. They begin with the lotus feet, they say the lotus feet, and just meditating until they arrive to the face, which is like the sun. It's the culmination of the meditation. I don't know if it's clear for you, but here's Krishna, okay? With his flute and his peacock feather, okay? So now I'm going to talk about the Trimurti. The Trimurti, which is the we can say the 3-fold divine manifestation. It's formed by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And they are, Vishnu is the same Krishna. Vishnu and Krishna are the same one. And Vishnu is the preserver of the universe. Okay? Vishnu is the preserver of the universe. Shiva is the destroyer of the universe. And Brahma is the one who generates all the living entities within the universe. He's Brahma. Okay? And if we speak about the 3-fold divine manifestation, we have to speak about their wives. But because there is no God without goddesses. There is no masculine without feminine. So they, masculine and feminine, are inseparable. Okay, the absolute is masculine and feminine. So God is masculine and feminine. Okay, so the wife of Brahma is Sarasvati. Sarasvati. The wife of Vishnu, do you know? Who is the wife of Vishnu? You know, I'm sure. You know. Huh? Lakshmi, very well. Lakshmi. And the wife of Shiva is Parvati. Okay, we have Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, and Sarasvati, Lakshmi and Parvati. Okay, the male ones and the ladies. Parvati, sorry. Parvati. So you have here as Sarasvati, the goddess of knowledge. I will explain about her. But first, Vishnu. For instance, you have here an image of Lakshmi Narayan or Lakshmi, Vishnu and Lakshmi, okay? So, Vishnu, he's the sustainer of the universe, he's the same Krishna, but in another manifestation, okay? And he has 4 arms, which represents the potencies of God, power of God, and in each of these arms he has 4 symbols. He has 4 symbols. He has the conch, I don't know if you can see, the conch, which represents victory. The conch, the first one, first symbol, victory. The conch. The second one is the disc. The disc, which represents power. The disc represents power. The mace, which represents justice. The mace. And finally, the lotus flower, which represents pleasure potency of the Lord. The Lord, God, gives pleasure to all living entities, especially to his devotees. Okay? So, the conch, which represents victory, the disc, which represents power, the mace, which represents justice, and the lotus flower, which represents pleasure potency. Okay? He is Vishnu. And her eternal consort, his wife is Lakshmi. Okay? Lakshmi. She is the goddess of abundance, prosperity, grace and beauty. Okay, so she's very popular in India and over the world because she's the goddess of prosperity, abundance, grace and beauty. Okay, and she is represented standing or seated in a resplendent lotus flower and always holding a lotus flower also, because lotus flower represents also purity and beauty. And her left hand is pointed to the ground. Okay, do you see? Her left hand is pointed to the ground. And this represents that she is bestowing boons. So she is the goddess of prosperity, abundance. So she's bestowing boons. Okay? These kind of secret gestures, like this one, like this one, like this one, are called in Sanskrit mudra. Mudra means sacred gesture. And every mudra has his meaning. Okay, this one, this one, this one. And this mudra, this particular mudra, is called Varada, which means bestowing boons. Varada. Vara means boon. Varada. Okay? This is a sacred gesture called mudra. Okay? Mudra is the specific name to call these sacred gestures, and Varada is this specific mudra, which means da. What does it mean, da? Donar, dar, in Spanish or Catalan. Varada, to bestowing, giving boons, okay? Varada. So she's Lakshmi, okay? The consort of Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. Let's speak about Brahma and Sarasvati. Here, you have one image of Brahma, or here also. Brahma. Brahma, he's the generator of the living entities and the universe. It is said that he is the secondary creator. Why secondary and not primary creator? Because it is said that the pores of the skin of Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, but from the pores of the skin of Vishnu sprout like drops of perspiration innumerable universes. And within each universe we find Brahma. It's a little complicated, but maybe with this image you will understand. He is Vishnu, and from the transcendental body of Vishnu sprout like drops of perspiration innumerable universes. Innumerable universes. It's like the idea of creation and contraction, expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction, it's the idea, but in Vedic terms, okay? Yes, like systole, diastole, good comparison. So Vishnu is the primary creator, and within the universe, within each universe, we find Brahma, which is on charge of the generation of every living entity. So he is called also the grandfather of all people, of all living entities, because it's the first one in each universe. Mahapita or Pitamaha. And he has 4 heads. 4 heads. So if you want to distinguish Brahma, he has 4 heads. Chaturmukha is called also Chatur. Chatur means cuatro, Chatur. Cuatro mukha, 4 cabezas, 4 heads. Okay? Chaturmukha. And the idea is that his vision covers the space from all sides. Yes, los 4 puntos cardinales, very well. He knows everything about everything within the universe. Okay? He knows everything. He has absolute knowledge within the universe. Okay? He's Brahma, the creator. Okay? So the wife of Brahma is Sarasvati. Are you able to see or no? Sarasvati, the flowing one, literally. Sarasvati, she's the goddess of knowledge, art, and speech. Okay, we have the same one here. Sarasvati. Sarasvati literally means the flowing one, because Saras means flowing, flow. It's the same one, okay? Sarasvati, an expansion of this one, okay? Sarasvati. Sarasvati is the wife of Brahma, and she is the goddess of knowledge, art, and speech, okay? Knowledge, art, and speech. So she is the inspirer of every artistic or intellectual activity. So the poets, the students, even nowadays in India, the students, especially before the exams, they worship Sarasvati. I don't know if it's a very pure dedication or worship, because there is an interested dedication or worship, but it's true. Before the exams, people in India, young people in India, the students, they worship Sarasvati, and also the artists, the poets, even nowadays, okay? And also, I have one of my students from India. She told me that in some places in India, they start to learn to read and to write the day of Sarasvati, the day dedicated to Sarasvati. This auspicious day, the young boys or the children start to listen, to learn, okay, to learn to read and everything. So it's very alive, this worship. And she's always represented with a white sari. Do you know what is a sari? I'm wearing a sari, it's obvious. I'm wearing a sari because the sari is the traditional Indian woman dress. And I'm wearing as an homage to Indian woman. And to be honest, because I love it, I find very elegant. There's a saying in India which goes, 8 meters of grace and elegance. And I agree with this idea, so I try to find any excuse to wear a sari, and today is a very good excuse to wear a sari. So now you know what is a sari. And she's always represented with a white sari, and seated or standing in a white lotus flower. Why color white? What do you think? What represents white universally? Purity. Purity. Because it is said that the lotus flower represents purity, the white represents purity, so the white lotus flower represents the purity of the soul, where real knowledge is rooted. Okay? Real knowledge, according to this tradition, is rooted in purity. If you don't have purity, you don't have real knowledge. You can have erudition, but not wisdom. Okay? It's not possible without purity. So, Saraswati is always represented with white color, and her symbols are this stringed musical instrument called Veena, which represents artistic ability and creativity. Sorry. This instrument is called Veena. Veena, okay? Veena. It's an ancient stringed instrument. More ancient than sitar. Maybe sitar is more popular, but Veena is more ancient. Okay? So the Veena represents artistic ability and creativity. He has also a rosary bead. Can you see? Rosary bead, which represents meditation. And she is holding the scriptures, the sacred scriptures. In Sanskrit is Shastra. The name is Shastra. Shastra means sacred scriptures. Shastra. Shastra, and represents knowledge. So the Veena represents artistic ability, the rosary bead represents meditation, and the Shastra, the scriptures, represents knowledge. Some of these symbols, she shares some of these symbols with her husband, Brahma, okay? Because in Brahma you can also see the rosary bead, the Shastra, okay? Okay, so she's Saraswati, and now Shiva and Parvati. The last one, Shiva and Parvati. Shiva and Parvati. Well, I put Shiva. Shiva meditating. Shiva. He's Shiva, and Shiva, it is said that he is he is in charge of the destruction of the universe. Okay. He is called the perfect yogi. He has all the qualities of a perfect transcendentalist, and he's always full of compassion to all evil living entities, and he's always absorbed in meditation. He's always absorbed in meditation. He's always meditating in Sankarshana. Sankarshana is Vishnu, so he's a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Okay. He's also full of compassion to every living entity, so he's called also Ashutosh, which means easily pleased. He's full of compassion. And his wife is Parvati, or Durga. Parvati or Durga is a special female deity because he has two possible manifestations, or he can be represented in two different modes. She can be represented in this kind mode, riding upon a lion or a tiger. This means that she is the controller of passion, okay? So riding upon a tiger of a lion. But she can also be represented in a violent mood, in a fierce mood, with weapons and with a dark complexion. She's the same wife of Shiva, but in a violent mood. Can you see the difference with Sarasvati or Lakshmi? It's very different. This is because Durga, she said that she represents the wild potency of nature, okay? And it is said that this material world is like a prison. We are in this prison, the material body. We are in this material body, in this material prison, because we are spiritual soul, eternal soul. But in this body, we are in this prison, and she, Durga, she's said to be the superintendent of this prison. She's the superintendent of this prison. So she's in charge of the purificatory processes that all living entities undergo through their lives. So all of the pains or proofs that we feel or we experience are proofs of Durga, okay? To learn something and to desire to be out of this prison. That's the idea. So she has also this violent mood. And finally, because we have said that there is no God without goddesses, and we have spoken about Krishna, and finally we have to speak about her consort. Her consort, I don't know if you can see, this is a deity of Krishna with Radha, okay? Krishna and Radha here. Or if you want to see a picture, maybe here, Radha and Krishna. She Radha, and it is said that she represents the highest manifestation of love, okay? She's the goddess of love. She's the highest manifestation of love, Radha. And so she's always represented as a beautiful young lady with Krishna, okay? He's the god of love and she's the goddess of love. And well, that's all of this is we have shown the first or the main deities of this tradition. And finally, I would like to point out, to finish with this lecture, that Sanskrit language and all of this tradition is still alive in India. So Sanskrit is a living spoken language, and you can find video channels, TV programs, newspapers in Sanskrit nowadays over India. So you can find on the web, or if you want to find something specifically, you can send me an email and I will be glad to help you. So that's all. It's been a pleasure to be here and share all of this information with you. I hope you have found interesting the subject, and I appreciate so much your attention. So thank you very much, which in Sanskrit is Dhanyavad and Namaste. So thank you very much for everything. Thank you.